The Census Survey of 2011 identifies a population of over 1.77 million homeless people who live in the open or roadside pavements, in hume pipes, under flyovers and staircases, or in the open places of workshop, railway platforms, etc. Shelter insecurity is the biggest challenge faced by the homeless population residing in temporary housing situation or with no shelter at all. Homeless population face varying degrees of risk and vulnerabilities ranging from threats of violence, exposure to unfavorable weather including extreme heat, water inundation, epidemics and loss of productivity. Further, they face depredation compounded by structural inequalities of caste, discrimination, economic disparity and gender bias. MHT, with support from Comic Relief, intervened in 3 ways to enable dignified life for homeless. Number 1. A mapping exercise and research study was done to understand and document the nature, scale and determinants of homelessness in Ahmedabad. Number 2. Facilitate secure identity documents and access to social security through MHT's Social Capital, the Community Action Group Women Leaders. Number 3. Designing pilots to facilitate basic amenities. Data analysis of quantitative and qualitative research carried out between December 2019 and April 2020 was done by Mahila Housing Trust, Billion Bricks and student researchers of Faculty of Urban and Regional Planning at CEPT University in collaboration with Comic Relief, wherein 1,000 individuals across 48 wards in Ahmedabad as defined by Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation were surveyed. Homelessness generally is a temporary situation, but in case of Ahmedabad, we found families who have been homeless since 2-3 generations.
Homeless is not a binary issue, particularly in India and Southeast Asia, as it is generally pursued. It's not that people either don't have access to home or have a formal housing, either rented or owned, but rather it is a long journey for most of the homeless families wherein they pass through various stages that include staying on open streets, to building the temporary shelters on streets, to getting space in shelter managed by the local government, and finally settling down into the slums with legal title and moving to the formal housing. And this journey might take few years to couple of decades for a homeless family, depending on the support provided by the government and the facilities extended by the non-profit organization within that jurisdiction. Understanding this ground reality, at Mahila Housing Seva Trust, we have created a framework for change that helps in delivering the tailor-made solution to homeless families falling on the different stages of their journey.
MHT facilitated documentation and registration to 1,391 homeless population for various social security schemes.
ગરબીણા લોકોને વ્યક્તિગત અને સામાજિક કુટુંબોને સામાજિક સુરક્ષાની યોજનાઓમાં નોંધણી કરાવવી ખૂબ જ જરૂરી છે, જેનાથી તે લોકો ખાસ સુરક્ષા, આજીવિકા, આરોગ્ય અને શેલ્ટર જેવા લાભો તેમની સુધી પહોંચી શકે. ખાસ કહું તો સામાજિક સુરક્ષાની યોજનાઓ સુધી પહોંચવા માટે એમના ઓળખના પુરાવા અને દસ્તાવેજો બનાવવા ખૂબ જ જરૂરી છે. તેની સાથે એને અપડેટ કરવા પણ ખૂબ જ જરૂરી છે. આના માટે MST એમને જાગૃત કરે છે, એમને અલગ અલગ સામાજિક સુરક્ષાની યોજનાઓની તાલીમ આપે છે અને એ યોજનાઓ સુધી પહોંચાડવા તેમને મદદરૂપ થાય છે.
હોમલેસ લોકો માટે સરકારી યોજનાનો લાભ અપાવવા માટે પૂરતા પુરાવા હોતા નથી. દાખલા તરીકે એડ્રેસ પ્રૂફ, જેથી કરીને લોકોને યોજનામાં જોડવા માટે આ લોકોને જોઈતા પુરાવા બનાવી આપવા તે અમારી પ્રાયોરિટી બની. આ સમજાવવા માટે લોકોની સાથે અવેરનેસ ટ્રેનિંગો અને મીટિંગો કરી.
MHD installed 3 tent-like shelter solution on a pilot basis at Shelter for Urban Homeless because shelter is a co-living space and many families were hesitant to reside in there because of their desire for privacy.
ખુલ્લામાં રહેતા હતા, માથે સત છે, સબોને ભેરો રહેવાનું ફાવતું નથી.
A pilot toilet at an open ground in Order where over 100 people can use it. Another retrofit toilet for the ease of differently abled homeless people at Shelter for Urban Homeless was installed. Many homeless people reside in open since 2-3 generations and their hope for a better life for their future generation almost doesn't exist. MHD's work starts here. MHD's efforts are towards assuring homeless people that they can dream for a better quality of life, a dignified life.
We continue to provide the support in the long run so that they have an access to formal housing. This means that we have to take each homeless family as a case and work with them over a duration of time by constantly maintaining the contact and helping them to address their underlying vulnerability. And hence, at Mahila Housing Seva Trust, homelessness is run on a program mode rather than a project mode.